Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks' best country, 105.1 The Bull. It's time for Around the Ozarks News, sponsored by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Advanced Car Care, Smouse Brothers, and United Plumbing. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Good morning to you on this Tuesday. Hope you're doing well, and we're going to start out with some news for you.
All right. A man is now charged in the murder of a Missouri State University freshman who was from Kansas City. 18-year-old Elijah Murray was shot and killed over Thanksgiving break last year. Eric Phillips II is now charged in that case with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. Police say Murray was shot while being dropped off in Independence, and her body was later found in Kansas City. No word yet if there was any sort of connection between the two. Authorities are still looking for Eric Phillips in the case. Springfield-based Convoy of Hope is responding to a deadly tornado in Michigan. That storm hit over the weekend, destroying homes, uprooting trees, and taking the lives of at least 8 people total throughout the Midwest. Dozens of other people are injured. Just hours after the storm, Convoy sent relief supplies to help communities start their recovery efforts. Last year, Convoy responded to 92 disasters in the U.S. and around the world.
And you remember last year in the spring, a lot of those were in the state of Missouri. Missouri had the second highest total for a long time.
Of tornadoes?
When it came to tornadoes, only behind Texas, which is a much bigger state. So we're getting into tornado season. It seems earlier than ever this year. I mean, it's like we were last week, a week out of February, and we were already seeing tornadoes. So more of that could come this week. So
Oklahoma got hard hit too. Michigan and Oklahoma as well.
Yep. The Camden County Sheriff's Office investigating after an inmate died Sunday night at the county jail. Deputies say 60-year-old man was found unresponsive in the intake area there at the jail. Detention officers started life-saving measures until first responders could get on scene. The man was pronounced dead about an hour later. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is now handling that investigation. Higher speed limits could be coming to some highways in Missouri. The state Senate has approved a bill that would allow speed limits to increase from 70 to 75 miles per hour. Just not everywhere, just on some certain highways. It would match speed limits in neighboring states like Kansas and Nebraska. The proposal now heads to the Missouri House for consideration, so stay tuned for that. And Missouri lawmakers also are moving forward with a plan to grade public schools using letter grades like the ones they give out. The State House has passed a bill creating an A through F report card system for school performance. Supporters say the grades would make school results easier for parents to get and understand. Critics, though, worry that low grades could hurt struggling districts and stigmatize communities. That bill now goes to the Missouri Senate for further debate.
Okay. The Missouri Job Center in North Springfield is open again after last week's heavy rainfall caused some water damage to their main offices. The facility on North Campbell closed on Monday of last week while crews were working to repair the building. All should now be operational again, just in time for more rain, you know?
Well, and in the meantime, they were at a library. They were able to work so people could still get help, but they weren't in their normal spot. Yeah.
Right. New activity center at Branson Junior High is nearly complete. School leaders have scheduled a ribbon cutting for April 1st at the campus on Buccaneer Drive. The 8,800 square foot building will serve as a gym and will also double as a tornado shelter should you need it. The project had a price tag of $8.5 million. That facility will host sports, physical education classes, and community events.
Okay.
It's good. 'Tis the season to need that shelter, right? Possibly. So
yeah, those shelters are always struggle with those because you have to drive to the shelter. You know what I mean? And I think they opened during a warning. Is that right? Or it's not a watch.
I think it's a warning.
Yeah, so
I think they open during the warning, not the watch.
I think that's the case too. But either way, you have to get to the shelter. So I'd be interested to see across the state of Missouri how many people actually utilize the shelters. I mean,
Right.
I think it's great for the school to have a shelter if that's at a school.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the school. So it's
Yeah.
great for the school to have a shelter for sure. But I'm talking about some of the other shelters um, that aren't connected to a school that's, or even at schools, evening time. It's tough
Right.
for people to get in. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Missouri's general revenue collections are up slightly so far this fiscal year. State officials say revenue through February has reached about $8.4 billion. That's about 1%, a 1% increase compared with this time last year.
Well, all right. It's something.
Better than
We'll
nothing.
we'll take what we can get. Kansas City Chiefs star, you've heard this by now, Travis Kelce, is not ready to walk away from the game. The 36-year-old tight end plans to return for his 14th NFL season this year. Kelce has been considering retirement, as you know, after a disappointing end to last season, really a disappointing season all the way around, top to bottom. Instead, he is expected to return to Kansas City to keep playing with quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Chiefs are also adding a Super Bowl MVP to their backfield. Now, this is something. Running back Kenneth Walker III is headed to Kansas on a 3-year deal worth about $45 million. Walker rushed for more than 1,000 yards last season with Seattle. He also earned Super Bowl MVP honors after a big performance in the championship game. So that'll be nice to have Walker on the Chiefs.
It's cool.
They need something.
Man, yeah, I'm glad that Kelce is not hanging it up after a rough season.
Well, you're assuming that this season's going to be better.
I know. That is true. That is just an assumption at this point. But I feel like it would be hard to leave such a storied team and having played such a pivotal role on a sour note.
Well, I mean, only one team every year leaves on a high note. And
No,
I don't think the Super Bowl's in the cards.
Super Bowl and like showing up is a plus.
Well, that was the year before. I don't know. You don't get better as you get older, is what I've learned. Firsthand experience.
I was wondering.
I'm not nearly the football player I used to.
Or ever. All right. That's all we got, folks. Happy Tuesday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Yeah. See ya.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, brought to you by Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday in the Ozarks. We are waking up nice and mild this morning with temperatures near 60 degrees, and it's going to be a warm one. In fact, today, we are going to be pushing high temperature records across the Ozarks. I have a high temp of 81 degrees in Springfield. Yeah, 81 degrees. It's early March. That's way above average for this time of the year. Much like yesterday, we'll have the south wind. We'll also have some sunshine, and we're starting at 60. So it's not that hard to warm up when you have such warm starting time temperatures. The big headline in the forecast today, though, is that storms arrive later this evening and tonight, and they could be strong to severe. We've got well above average temperatures to enjoy through the early part of the day, through the lunch hour. It's really tonight that we have to start looking for some of those severe weather hazards. And I think multiple threats will be possible in the Ozarks, and it's a huge portion of the country that's expecting some of this severe activity. So this stretches all the way from South Texas back up through Oklahoma, ports of Arkansas, of course, us here in the Ozarks, as well as portions of Oklahoma and Kansas, clear up through the state of Illinois, Indiana, and all the way to the Great Lakes. That's who's expected severe weather today. It's a very potent cold front that's going to be sweeping across much of the country. With it, it will bring cooler weather behind it. However, before that gets here, we have some rain and storms to talk about. Potentially heavy rain here too. In fact, I have rain ongoing this evening, tonight, and then again on Wednesday morning. Widespread showers and thunderstorms are expected, and there could be some areas that get some heavier rainfall, and it's occurring on top of already saturated ground. This will lead to some localized flooding concerns. Overall, I'm thinking rainfall totals will be anywhere from a half inch of rain to an inch and a half of rain. But localized amounts could be a little bit higher, and even that is too much with the saturated ground that we are seeing. So remain weather aware. Not only do we have a risk for flooding, I think there's also a risk for high winds and some severe weather as this storm passes through. The key message here is that potential for strong to severe storms is going to develop late this afternoon through tomorrow morning, and the greatest potential is going to be focused along this line of storms that comes through tonight. The primary hazard will be for damaging winds and flooding, as I mentioned, but there's at least some risk for large hail as well as some tornadic activity. And this risk does exist for all of the Ozarks. Higher severe storm chances are possible north of the region for the central part of the state up into northern Missouri, all the way into portions of Illinois. Now, once we get to Wednesday, there will be some lingering rainfall behind this system, but cooler weather is then going to greet us for the rest of the week. And then I'm expecting a gradual warming trend as we get closer to the weekend. Around the country, here's what's making headlines in the national news. We have severe weather and flash flooding for much of the Midwest and South Central Plains. Of course, and active weather happening for the Pacific Northwest into the Northern Rockies. You'll also hear about that in national news. All right, here's a look at that around the Ozarks. Wake up weather brain twister trivia question for the day. The question is, what is the only fruit that has its seeds on the outside? And the options that I have for you today are A, the raspberry, B, the pineapple, C, the strawberry, or D, kiwi. And the answer is C, strawberry. Botanically, strawberries are unique. The seeds that you see on the outside are actually tiny fruits called acnes. I think that's how you say it. Each one containing a seed. The red fleshy part is the enlarged receptacle, not the fruit itself. Raspberries and blackberries have seeds inside, and pineapples and kiwis have internal seeds too. Strawberry, the rebel here, and it is the winner today. So congrats if C was your guess. Here's your trivia question for tomorrow. Which animal has 3 hearts? Do you think it is A, the squid, B, the octopus, C, the cuttlefish, or D, the nautilus? You can let me know your guess. That's at the website aroundtheozarks.com. Thanks so much to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, the Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Thank you so much for listening today. Enjoy the warm weather, 80 degrees before severe storms arrive. Timing wise, I'm thinking this is very late tonight, likely after 7 p.m. We'll see a line of storms come through here with severe hazards. So make sure you have a way to get your watches and warnings. I'll be tracking it here, and you can always check the website. That's aroundtheozarks.com. Thanks so much for listening. Stay safe. We'll chat again tomorrow morning.